Okay, Abuzia, ene ye kokoshia chama Wontumi na ye shia chama Wontumi ye bisa ne se na omiti eye president Mahama asemben ena obeka e de ache no. Abuzia emu aye den e de amacha ma Wontumi. Aha, eye gossip politics so unsubscribe ya, subscribe like na share ma afofron so enter into me enkabi. Abuzia hit on the notification bell. Send be any update be dropping on so on sa ebetumi aka chama Wontumi ana sisi ano abusua emu ayeden ama ne papa na ye bisa chama Wontumi se na ushia president Mahama asemben ena obeka ache no na o say I am sorry if I have wronged you in any way. Chama Wontumi to President Mahama wapa President Mahama ache say boni bi odi aye President Mahama bia no onfa ne boni nchene na ono no onpa se eye se oye obi boni a onpa ho se eye se opasa ni pakro na chew abusua mom yanko na yenkonko tie Chama Wontumi na paw chewa opa President Mahama na ye ba ye de aka ababeto am so na Chama Wontumi wan pa chewa baby and cases bi boboko no enye asam ketwa inti no se President Mahama should temper justice with mercy mom yanko na yenkonko tie ni mra.
Oh, see ye ni pai. Say ye ni pai. Edru the beer. Yanson say smaka bibi atiano obeka say de enye nenye ena de yenso nenye nti eno de menson say afutu na menson che mepo acha wonso what I said say my bibi a mofa so mu ne adwem. Yes, make I say I'm sorry. Yes. I'm sorry. Thank you. Michiano, he's our president. Abra na ope no dear. Na sabre no. Na ya dia I was a me ye juma at the mommy party. Sisia ye yine dear. Anya dia ono Akroma babio. Na Michiano mechiano. Michiano mechiano. Na masa akache ne say minim sadia akufuado a handy over to no minim say so no so be handy over at the ama Bawumia awo 2029 no ono so be handy over at the ama no na me kanso so a me wo me wo the right to say that because abra yewra kufo only Yura Rollins a Prez 1996 na 2000 onko bio no or handy over edema Yura kufo abra Yura Tamas only Yura kufo a Prez 2000 204 na 28 onko bio no Yura kufo handy over edema Yura Tamas uwu ne yare kanipa ho enyina nim de esi 2016 Abra 2012 Abra Sansana Oye president in Tino. He maintained. And 2016 Akufo-Addo Abaye Yewra Mahama handi over to Yewra Akufo-Addo. And Yewra Mahama Esani Yewra Akufo-Addo sa compete election 2020. Election 2024 Yewra Akufo-Addo nkobio or handy over Edema Yewra Mahama. And now election 2024, a Yewra Bawumia and a ne Yewra Mahama a contested year until election 2028. Onko biono, let's just say election 2028. Yewra Mahama will hand over at the Ama Yewra Bawumia. We near who to so strong qua. Emma ye our politics in more. You bet me the agent so at the Akasa say, you know, say election 2028 MPP in the very the President Mahama will hand over to MPP or Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia.
Abusua Chama Wontumi ena echese yete se opa eye President Mahama achewa Chama Wontumi ohwe ne posture ohwe n'anima ne kasa na a ɔka koraa no nsisi so nneɛma ɛnhante Chairman Wontumi because cases a egu ne so no ɛne da bi a ɔkɔ court na ɔba ɔkɔ na ɔba ɔne ne lawyers kɔ na ɔba na ɛyɛ ne Akonta mining case no sisi a no court ama ne lawyers ne ultimatum 14 days ultimatum Momia corner, young conco teas are ultimatum corner, yen chicken home commoner. Abuzia unsubscribe, ya subscribe like and share ma afro answer into me and kabia gossip politics so and don't forget to click on the notification bell so that any update we are dropping on so every to me. I can be hitting on the notification bell so Madam Ase.
The Ashanti Regional Chair of the New Patriotic Party, that's Benedict Boysiako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, has been jointly charged, as we do know, with the Akroma Mining Company Limited, his company, and then also that's an artificial person, and then the manager of the Akroma Mining, that's Kwame Enchi. This matters of assignment of mineral rights without authority, facilitating unlicensed mining operations. Now, what does all of this mean? And this is what we're going to show to you because, and how far we have come with this particular case over the period up until this point. Well, as we do know, the charges were filed. In fact, 6 charges all in total against these 3. That is Benedict Boysiako, Kwame Enchi, the managing director, and then also Akroma Mining as an official person in this regard. These persons were arraigned, and in this Kwame Enchi, as at the time, was at large, but then Chairman Wontumi pleaded not guilty and granted bail. As we do know, the bail conditions, it took a couple of days or more for him to meet that bail condition, and the trial then proceeded, and the prosecution, the Attorney General, the state for that matter, presented 4 witnesses to testify, and the Chairman Wontumi's lawyers also had the opportunity to cross-examine these witnesses. Essentially, what has happened now is that today, the prosecution, that's the state, has closed its case, and Chairman Wontumi's lawyers say, well, they're filing for a submission of no case. What that essentially means is that his lawyers argue that the minimum evidence or evidential threshold has not been met. After cross-examining these 4 witnesses, say that, well, look, I mean, there's really nothing for their client to answer. So you just go ahead with it. So what's going to happen going forward is that the trial judge would have to rule whether or not this particular application will hold. If it doesn't, then the trial proceeds. If it does, what's going to happen is Chairman Wontumi will be acquitted and discharged because, look, he's essentially going to be a free man, at least for as far as this particular case is concerned. And what then leads us to the Attorney General's own verdict on this. This is going to be the next step. If application is upheld, Chairman Wontumi will be acquitted and discharged. That's going to be a big turning point, because if you hear Engineer Dr. Kenashigbe says, well, there was abundance of evidence even before this trial started, that has to stand the test of the law. In the court of law, the language is evidence beyond reasonable doubt in criminal matters like this. If this application or submission of no case is not upheld, Chairman Wontumi will be ordered to open his defense. And what that means is that these witnesses that he is also going to be presenting will testify and cross-examined. And eventually, the defense will close their case, written submissions will be made, and then we would wait for the judgment of the court. So beyond this, we'll get to find out if this case will travel the long haul or the full haul, or it will be truncated at some point. The Attorney General has also, in fact, the Deputy Attorney General, Dr. Justice Edem Sremsai, also posted something on this, what happened today. We're going to get into that in a bit. And this is what he's been talking about regarding what the next steps will be regarding Chairman Wontumi's case. And this is it. He says, this afternoon, Our hardworking state attorneys closed the Republic's case against Chairman Wontumi, that's Bernard Boesiako, and his two co-accused persons, Kwame Enchi, who is at large, and Akonta Mining Limited. The core accusation in the case is that Chairman Wontumi, without ever obtaining the required ministerial approval, gave his mining concession in Samreboy to some people to use for galamsey. We called 4 witnesses in all. Our first witness was one of the galamsey headmen. He was arrested together with other galamseyers in Akonta Mining office on the concession. The headman testified that he, indeed, supervised several persons to conduct galamsey on the concession. Our second witness was the headman's employer. He testified that he had an arrangement with Chairman Wontumi to conduct galamsey on the concession and to reclaim the land. He also testified to how Chairman Wontumi used his political influence to get national security protection for their galamsey activities on the concession. Our third witness, a police detective, tendered in evidence investigative statements, including one in which Chairman Wontumi admitted to giving a part of his Samreboy concession to our second witness, but for purposes of land reclamation only and not for galamsey. He gave no money for the reclamation. Our fourth witness, a mining law and regulation expert, testified that allowing another person to carry out mining activities on a concession requires the minister's approval. He told the court that Akonta Mining did not have an approval to let another person mine or reclaim the concession. Chairman Wontumi's lawyers have told the court that they want to make a submission of no case, as I referenced earlier, which essentially means they will tell the court that the Republic has not brought sufficient evidence to require Chairman Wontumi to even open his mouth to utter a word or defend himself. The lawyers have 14 days within which to make their submission of no case. Our attorneys will oppose the submission of no case the year. Justice Dr. Adam Sremsai, you have it there. You'll find this on his socials. So, and also reproduce on 3news.com. This is Ghana Tonight. Now, coming up next, Bukari Nikpe, on this raging debate of whether or not to change the name of Kotoka International Airport to the proposed Accra International Airport. Take a look.
Original name. We will remember that in the period of the Second World War, around 1946, the British Royal Air Force used that place as an Air Force base to carry people to war and other activities. After that period, somewhere in 56, that facility was handed over to the civilian rule. That was the time Sergeant Dr. Kwame Akroma was at the helm of affairs. He retooled, he revamped, and redeveloped the Air Force base into a civilian passenger airport. And as at that time, the name was Accra International Airport. And that name is of significance to us. We all here have accepted that Accra is our capital city, marketed, rich culture, and also locational identity that everybody in this world, especially in the West Africa sub-region, knows that where this struggle for independence had a lot to do from Accra. And so renaming the airport to Accra International Airport is of significant importance to the Ghanaian people and, for that matter, the African personality. Now, the situation is like that we are not doing this with any political thinking. We are doing this to come from a very neutral point of view that Accra is our capital city. It is not anybody's name. If we want to name other monuments or any other national facilities to people, this is the time that we are looking at restructuring them. For the fact that we had a name and it was changed to honor somebody in his role in the 1966 coup, we feel that that history is not what the Ghanaian will want to hear. The fact that it had an original name, and that name was when the first president gave that name to the airport, We should do that, and Kwame Nkrumah himself in his grave will remember, even if the spirit is anywhere and it is coming home, it will get to his original Accra International Airport, no any other name. And so we are not doing this to cause any pain or any harm to anybody. We want to look at the geographical importance, and we want to look at other practices in the world. For instance, we have the Nairobi International Airport. We have the Addis Ababa International Airport. So renaming Accra International Airport is one of the glories we think that we will be doing to our forefathers who fought for independence for us and gave us these rich and respected names. We are not in any way rushing on this bill. It is going to go through all the processes. For this time round, it is to be laid in Parliament. It is when it is laid, we'll debate it, we'll go through it, and we'll let Ghanaians know the historical importance of renaming our airport and the benefit it will come along with.
So that's the transport minister giving some reasons and the basis for this whole idea of renaming or restoring the earlier name of the Kotoka International Airport to that original name of the Accra International Airport. In fact, this was an airstrip, as we do know, redeveloped sometime in 1956. That name that was given to the redeveloped airstrip was the Accra International Airport. That is what is being sought now to have it then reverted to. But there's a reason why this Accra International Airport, as named in 1956, was renamed then to Kotoka International Airport. And this is what we're going to take you through. There was actually an enabling legislation that led to the name change to the Kotoka International Airport from the then Accra International Airport. And this is it. That's a General Kotoka Trust Decree 1969. I'm going to put it on the screen right now, NLCD 339. And this, why exactly was this legislation really necessary? It was to demonstrate gratitude for liberation and rebirth of freedom in Ghana. Remember, because this 1966 coup happened at the time when there was this whole, demonstration and also the pushback on the Preventing Detention Act and this whole quest for a one-party state that the then Akroma-led government was being accused of pushing. And so all of this was captured in the sense that these persons who fought for their freedom and the rebirth of the freedom in Ghana and for liberation, gratitude to them, achieved by the gallant men, including Kotoka, for fighting against those quests and objectives by the then Nkrumah-led administration. The paragraph 8 of this legislation we're talking about, the objectives of the said trust, was to establish, one, the renaming of the Accra International Airport. So this is it. If you look at the paragraph 8 of this legislation, it gives reasons for the renaming of the Accra International Airport then to Kotoka International Airport after the late Lieutenant General Emmanuel Kwesi Kotoka, without any financial charge being placed on the trust fund. And remember, the objective was to show gratitude to him and other gallant men for the freedom, the rebirth of freedom in Ghana. The naming of an army barracks, Kotoka Barracks, after the late General Kotoka, without any financial charge being placed on the said trust fund. The erection of a statue. You go there at some point, there was a statue of the late General Kotoka there at that same site where the Kotoka International Airport is located now, as a warrior in full battle dress at the spot where he fell. Because if you recall, the late Kotoka was shot just around that airport area where the Kotoka International Airport is located, near the Accra International Airport, and the creation of a quiet garden in the area surrounding the statue. So all of this was captured in law, okay? Now, there's another process that is going to go through this same legal process in Parliament to have this name now reverted to the original Accra International Airport. Talk with Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, a former military officer himself, a statesman. She's joining us on Zoom for a quick conversation on this. We appreciate your time on this particular issue. And the Transport Minister has been giving some reasons for the decision. And in fact, he says the renaming of the airport is, to quote, is significant in terms of its importance to the Ghanaian people, and for that matter, the African personality. You disagree? Why?
Now, firstly, it is unfortunate that such a move should come from the present government. Very unfortunate, because I thought they have learned their lesson. Lessons in the sense that we've had previous government that has disappointed the people of this country. And I thought when they come to power, there are certain things they will tackle first and foremost.
Okay, abusua we ne ensema ekoso ewo political highway so chama Wontumi na echese na akonta mining cases ne charges a yede born no echese empenfo ede ehonsem eto political highway so ayenso ye drop ede amamo unsubscribe ya subscribe, like na share ma afofron so ensa Wontumi and can don't forget to click on the notification bell so na any updates we are dropping no onsa ebetumi akabi medamase.